So today we're going to first start talking about 12 ways to grow and scale. And this is Lauren. She's going to be bringing out tickets. Josh will also be bringing around some. So I'm going to talk about something and then I'm going to ask you to discuss it in your groups for 2 minutes. So you'll pick one partner at your group, hopefully someone that you don't know that well, that you can do a discussion with. And then when I say we're done, you're going to raise your paper in the air. The first team that does and is quiet will win a point. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is step 1 of 12 ways to grow and scale is to get a funnel to create leads with low risk and no risk offers. This is the whole premise of digital marketing. So we are gearing most of our money. We've obviously spent tons on radios, tons on TV. We still have radio ads running, but we're slowly starting to make those digital ads less and less because we're seeing more of a reward with digital marketing. So one of the things that digital marketing is, it's you create a no risk, then you create a low risk, and then you create your offer. So for example, for real estate, you would create something called like why your home didn't sell, or 7 steps to staging your home, or 5 steps to buying your new home. And then you give them something else that's a low risk, and then you move with an offer. So one of the things that we've done for you guys that we're going to start creating, we've created a program, our web department has done an amazing job, that everything we create for Chantel Ray Real Estate, we've now created for you with your own branding and your own name and your own phone number. So everything we're doing that's working to get leads for us, we're doing for you. So for example, if you go to guides.chantelray.com and put in your email address, so like you could put in, if your email is joshua@chantelray, then that last line would just be Joshua, right? And then they would go to yours, and then, so this would be a form, and it would have, John's information, John's phone number, and his email as well. And it'll say, click here to download the guide. And then the next step would be for them to get the phone number. So this is some of the different things, and then it'll kind of give you the 10 steps. These are all the different ones. On our stuff, it doesn't have the only thing it has is our logo. And then we also are making it where it's not ready yet, but the actual downloads will have your picture, your phone number, your email already done with that. So our web department has done a great job. I've told you this before, but more people log into Facebook every night than watch the Super Bowl. A lot of you guys are not using Facebook as your friend because you're thinking, oh, Facebook's dying, Insta's getting better. Whether you use Facebook, whether you use Insta, it doesn't matter. 1.6 billion people log into Facebook. 94% of Facebook is done mobily. And you want to make sure that the square videos, when you're doing square videos, they get 35% more views than landscape. And right now, the age 65 and older this past year was the fastest growing group on Facebook. So a lot of times people are like, well, it's, for young people, all the older people now are getting on Facebook. So I'm going to have you watch this video.
Did you know that 85% of people watch videos on Facebook or social media and don't have their sound turned on? That's because their husband's sleeping next to them in bed, they're scrolling through it at work when they're not supposed to be watching. So what can Simpronto do? Send us a short video and we will caption it for you. That way, when people are scrolling through social media, they'll be able to see what your video is talking about.
Captioned by Simpronto.
So that's very powerful. This is from Facebook itself. 85% of people are not watching, they're watching the video, they're not listening. They might be at work, their husband's sleeping, whatever, but that's a very powerful statistic. So when you're doing it, we're going to be starting to do regular open houses for like that day, it'll just be free. You can come into our studio, you can send it in, whatever it is for that day. If you send in a video, we'll transcribe it for you for free. If it's not on that special day, or we'll give you an award saying, hey, you did a great job. Here's something that we can transcribe for you. But all you do is send us the raw original clip, and we'll go ahead and caption it for you. So if on a regular day, we can do it for you for like $25. It's worth it. Do a great video, share it, and post it. So this is something that, this is a perfect example of a video that I did. So I did 15 tips to grow and scale your business, okay? So if I want to send that out to people, I say, watch this free video on how to grow and scale your business. They do a low-risk item. They put their name and their email in, and then I get that lead, and then we can talk about having them do something else, right? But the problem is a lot of you guys are not you have to pretend like this is a news article. Some of them are of the things that you're capturing people with. They're not newsworthy. Like, think about, would this appear on the news? And so, like, can't sell your home, I can fix that, or get rid of lowball offers for good. Or I've created, if you go on to, I put all of these newsworthy headlines on chantelray.com/headlines. So if you ever forget them or you want an easy way to put them, you can go on there and look at that list. So now you're going to go into your groups and you're going to come up with an idea. So for your business, what could you do that would go through this funnel, right? Low risk, you give them some kind of video for free, some kind of brochure. And here's the thing. Is this working? Okay. So we're going to take these ideas from you. So within your group, each table, we want you to turn in one idea, and we're going to pick it, okay? Pick who we thought was the best idea. So one of those funnels, and then which of your favorite newsworthy headlines are there? You can go on to chantelray.com/headlines and look at those and see which ones are your favorites. So take 2 minutes to decide that in your groups. You can do it in partners of 2. Ready? Go. All right, number 2 is focus on your niche. This is so important because it's counterintuitive to niche down, because everyone's like, if I niche down, then I don't want to lose business. And so they're like, they just want to be you want to be known for something specific, and it doesn't mean you don't do other business, but if you're a jack of all trades, you're going to be a master of none. So you want to figure out what is your niche and stay focused on that. So write these 3 down. So you have your category, you have your specialty, and then your niche. So the book that I wrote, Waste Away, is in the top 1% of all books on Amazon for one reason only. I wrote it about intermittent fasting, okay? And the reason why it's so successful, because the category is health. The next part is wellness or weight loss. I should have written weight loss. The second category is weight loss. If I would have written a general book about weight loss, it would have gotten completely lost in the sauce, and it no way would have ever been a top 1% bestseller. But because my book, in the title, I said intermittent fasting in it, it now became the top 1% of all books on Amazon. Why? Because anytime someone searched for intermittent fasting, they found the book. So they didn't know me from Adam. And so, like, if someone wanted to get a boob job, okay? If you wanted to get a boob job, or I could come up with something for a guy, well, I won't go there, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's pretend a guy wanted to get an enhancement, right? So if they wanted to get it, they wouldn't search plastic surgeon, right? They would search, I'm going to go to boob job. They would search boob job, right? Like, I want to get my boobs done. My boobs are real. Don't say anything about that. These are real. I'm not looking to get one. But if I did, right, I would type in boob job, And then that's who would come up, right? But see, the plastic surgeon that says, oh, I just want to be plastic surgeon, they're not going to get searched. And I can't emphasize that enough. It doesn't matter what your business is, right? You have to niche down, and you have to get rid of this idea that, oh, I don't want to lose business. I don't want to lose business. Now, if someone came to him, even though he was a plastic surgeon and he did specialize in boob jobs, he could make that decision. Once he got to the point that all he did was boobs, 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 he might not want to do anything else, right? But in the beginning, he might, even though he's advertising boob specialist, someone comes to him and says, oh, look, I want to get a tummy tuck, he could do it. That's where we're going with this. So like for you, you could say, okay, I want to specialize in listings, and then I want to do luxury if you're in real estate. Or you could say, I want to work with buyers, and I want to be a military relocation specialist, or I want to really specialize working with investors. And that doesn't mean that you're not working with anyone else, but all your marketing and your advertising is moving to that niche. So you could focus on vacation homes. You could say, I want to niche down with, I specialize. Think about if you were just the specialist with newlyweds, right? If you were like, I'm a newlyweds, then you really have a very tight focus. Then you should be at every one of those event planning things that are for, bridal shows. It really helps you focus where you want to go. One of the things that is the best thing for niching down is podcasts. So again, I did a podcast. I'm passionate about health, but my podcast has over 40,000 downloads per episode per month, just from posting out there. All I did was I made a commitment to 2 times a week, 30 minutes out of my day. I said, 30 minutes out of my week, I'm going to do a podcast. We now have over 200 episodes, and it's just flown by. And what is the commitment for me? I'm doing 30 minutes. You can do the exact same thing. We're going to zhuzh up our Chantel Ray Real Estate podcast. So if you're in real estate, you could come in and you could come talk about whatever your niche is. If you want to talk about luxury, you want to talk about flipping homes, you want to talk about whatever. Every week we're going to be bringing different people on. Then we're going to pay to advertise it. When we've done these podcasts before, I know Josh Chilton and John McLaren have been on them, but they've gotten business, and people have called in and said, we want the guy, Josh or John McLaren or Jimmy Ray, who was on that podcast, because they hear the podcast. So if you want to start your own podcast, which I highly suggest you do, everything that Simpronto does, you get for 50% off. So you could start your own podcast. It comes out to like $62 for you to do an episode. So you do it. We can even teach you how to do it, and you don't even have to use us anymore. You can upload your own stuff, and you don't even have to use us. We can teach you how to do it, and then you can do it on your own. But there's a guy named John Grisham. I know you guys have all heard of him. He was an attorney, okay? What he did was he would come into work 1 hour every day. He used to be an attorney. He would write for 1 hour of his day. That's all he committed to doing is, I'm tired of being an attorney. I don't want to do this. 1 hour every day. He now has, I think, 28 best-selling books or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but it's something crazy like that. And that was his commitment. That's the power of a daily habit that you can either do weekly, just say, he did it once an hour, or you could do it 30 minutes twice a day. So with your podcast, you've got to niche down, though. You can't make it too broad unless with real estate, you might actually be able to, because there's so few people in real estate doing podcasts right now. So if you get in on the ground floor, you could probably get away with it. Other industries, you've got to really niche down to be able to grow, but you want to try to figure out what you're going to do on there. So you could on your podcast, you could do business highlights on there. You could do market updates. You could do neighborhood highlights. All the things that you are planning on doing, you can do on there as well. So you could do, again, all those same things we talked about before, like top seller mistakes, how to sell in a slow market, how to buy in a slow market. So what I want you guys to do in your groups is talk about how do you take your business that you have right now, and how do you, if you had to pick one niche, okay, what is that one niche for you? Go ahead, 2 minutes. Okay, so you want to make sure that people know why you're different. This is absolutely crucial. You have to figure out what are your propositions of why you are different. One of the things that I think we don't do a good job of is we don't do a good job of explaining on the listing presentation of why we're different as well as we could. Shh. So, for example, here's a perfect example of something we do that I don't think we've conveyed. So we spend thousands of dollars each month to ListHub and ListHub Global and Proxio. So if you don't do anything at all and you just put your listing in the MLS, you can syndicate to about 80 websites. But there is about another hundreds of other websites that your house should be on. And so as a company, we pay extra to ListHub, we pay extra to ListHub Global, and then for all of our luxury listings, we also put it on Proxio. And so the bottom line is that when you're going on a listing presentation, you have to explain this. This is thousands of dollars that we spend every month to make sure that your listing is on international sites as well. So we're not going to do this because of time. We're talking about why you're different. We're going to just kind of scooch on for that. But this is my favorite billboard that I always like to say. I say, if you have as much money as Budweiser, then go ahead and put a billboard up like this, okay? But if you don't, then Budweiser, what they should have done was, I saw this was around the Super Bowl time, so you could have said something like, top 10 tips to throwing a Super Bowl party. You know what I mean? Something like that on the billboard for them to capture people. So there was this guy who wrote this on Facebook, and he wrote, "It's looking like another bloodbath on Wall Street today. At some point, smart investors realize that investing in real estate allows you to sleep a lot better at night and give amazing returns." So that's great. That's a great post. I love that he did that. So he's a good friend of mine, so we brainstormed this, but he put zero call to action. So I told him, I said, you took this is the post that should be. You should say, if you want this, then email loans. If you want to see what the best rate is, email loans. Or, click here to search on our site. And I see all these people putting all these different posts up, but they have zero call to action. One of the things that we're doing right now to increase engagement is asking people to participate. So the more you ask, the more people want to participate. So there's an app, write this down, surveymonkey.com. It's completely free. And what you can do is you can say things like, what are your top goals for 2019? What are you most confused about with the real estate market, or with your health, or what with your mortgage industry, or what I only put these parts because depending on your business, you have to fill it in, right? And so SurveyMonkey is completely free, but this is one of my friends in the health space, okay? And he said, this was his email, he had massive rewards from this. He said, "Hey guys, Dr. C here. Could you do me a quick favor?" That is a perfect line right there. Start with, "Could you do me a favor? I'm about to start to plan out this year's content, but I wanted to make sure it's helpful for you. I put together a 7-question survey and would love to know your current thoughts. I promise to read your answers personally and adjust our content so that it can help you. I really appreciate your help. To your best health, Dr. C." So that is the best email. If you sent that out to all your clients, doesn't matter what business you're in, Number one, you start with saying, can you do me a favor? Number two, you're saying this very quick. He should have said this very quick. It'll take you, if you make it more than 2 minutes, everyone's like, forget it, Jack, I don't have the time, right? So add that in there. Do this very quick thing. It'll take less than 2 minutes, and I would probably, 7 is a bit much. I would say this 4 or 5 question survey. That's it. Then, remember, you can always use our studio for free, okay? Anyone here can use our studio for free. Any business we allow. If you have a friend, right, who says, you know, I have this business. You go, do you want to come and just use our studio, make videos? That our studio is made for any business in the community. Anyone can use it. You should be offering that to your clients, whatever business they have. We want to help other businesses to grow, and they will in turn want to help our business to grow. So what you do is you take all those words. So let's say that, like, here's a perfect example what he learned with the survey. So for him, let's say he's a thyroid doctor. His niche, okay, he niched down as soon as he used to be just a natural healthcare doctor. The second he said, you know what, I'm just going to be a thyroid doctor, nothing else. I do nothing else. His business grew by 10 times. 10 times. Literally, you can ask him. He said, the best thing I ever did, he always was like, well, I don't want to lose these clients, and I don't want to lose these clients. Nope. He increased his business by 10 times by just saying, I'm a thyroid specialist, and that's it. So then what he did was he took this, and I put this for real estate, but he did, this is called a word cloud. You guys can take all those words that you guys get and turn them into a word cloud. These are the big things right now because it grabs people's attention. So for him, he said, okay, I'm going to check it was like anyone who put thyroid or T3 or just all the words that they said on the survey of what they were interested in. He took all those words, and you can do it on a word cloud. If you go to chantelray.com/word cloud, you'll see a video of exactly how you can do this. So I want you guys to take just 2 minutes and name some good, trackable call to actions that are powerful, that you can use in your business for every post. You have to drill this in your mind. When I do a post, do I have a trackable call to action to see if that post is working? All right, go. So let's move to speed and follow-up of leads. So I have a girlfriend of mine. Her name's Catherine. She's drop dead gorgeous, and she's starting a new business, and she's like, well, I just need to hire a salesperson to handle all my leads. I'm like, how many are you getting? She's like 10 a day. She's like, I just have to hire. She's kind of dizzy. She's like, I just kind of have to hire someone. I'm like, 10 leads a day? She's like, well, I'm transitioning. I have this other. I'm like, no, call 10 people and answer 10 freaking emails and stop talking about it. And no, you're not going to hire a salesperson to do it. You have to just create a time in your day where you go, I'm doing nothing else but following up with my leads. It's a system thing. I don't take an appointment. I don't do anything. I follow up with my leads during this time. Now, at most companies, this is a survey that I found online, the average lead time response is nearly 47 hours. Now, the time frame may have worked in the past, but they now say, this blew my mind, okay? Listen to this. This is from a Velocify survey. They're saying lead conversions are 391% higher if you call within 1 minute. So as soon as I heard that, guess what I put into place? I put into place that when a lead comes into our call center, the lead comes in, it auto dials. We are now at maybe 47 seconds from the time because the person puts their name, phone number, and email. Inside sales does not dial anymore because think about it, they now have to find it, now 757, they don't do that anymore. It's an auto dialer that auto dials, and then when they answer, it goes to inside sales because it's absolutely crucial. Listen, 391% higher if you call within 1 minute. Listen, waiting an additional minute drops that down to 120%. And if you wait an hour, it drops down another 36%. So people are thinking, oh, 5 minutes? Guys, 5 minutes is 5 minutes ago. No, we aren't doing that anymore. We got to get down to 1 minute. So, the basic reason of why it's so important is because people do things online and then they might leave the computer and now they're back at work or they finished lunch or whatever. But statistics show that following up by email is only half as effective as following up by phone. And we all know this, but what happens is we don't feel like following up on the phone, so we just go, I'll just send them a text. And same thing, a text and email are the same. It's so much more powerful. You always want to follow up an inbound lead with a phone call first because that's how you convert. One of the things that they say, we have a high ticket item. So if you have a business, let's say that you have a coaching consulting business and you want to sell your coaching program for $4,000. Everyone will tell you nobody is going to go from buying whatever it is and then moving to a $4,000 transaction without you getting them on the phone. There's no way. They're not going to do it like, okay, I don't know who you are. Now I'm going to sign up for a $4,000 coaching program. It's not going to work. The only way to convert those leads are with phone calls. Every one of our transactions is a high ticket item. This is not a $29.99 book. This is not a $49.99 workout machine. So the other thing is, if you don't make contact, they're saying you should try again at 30 minutes, then an hour or two later, and then 3 more times every few days. I mean, they have done, this is Velocify. They've done study after study after study on what works. So what happens is you guys are picking up the phone and then you go, they didn't answer. Oh, well, boop, on to the next. No, you put a timer and you send it back to yourself to send it back to yourself in 30 minutes, then send it back to yourself in an hour. So we are literally seeing the best lead conversion right now. We just saw one that came in a year and a half ago. The guy is ready to buy. The best time from the time a lead comes in, everyone wants the hot, fresh leads. Our web department did an analysis. I think he told me it was 7.5 months. From the best lead you could get, if you went into our lead system and saw what date did they come in, and then did 7.5 months later, those are the prime people that are ready to buy because it's like they're starting their search a year ahead of time. And they're ready to, so I'm not going to split us up just for saving time, but one of the step 6 is saying no to great ideas. I know that you guys have people all the time who are like, can I pick your brain for 5 minutes? Can I buy you lunch and brainstorm? And we call these time vampires, bloodsuckers, takers, and opportunists. So with one of the things that I have learned is that you have to say no to great ideas sometimes. So one of the best companies I think is Apple. I have all Apple products thanks to Josh Chilton. I did have a Dell, and now I moved to a Mac, which I love. But they say, this is from Tim Cook. He's the CEO of Apple. He says, we are so focused because we say no to good ideas every day. And you guys are getting all these calls about the latest and greatest, and you need to do this, and hey, can I have 30 minutes of your time? I have this new program. It's going to get you all these leads, and da-da-da-da. It's like, no, just focus. You've got plenty of leads. Like, call the ones that you already have. Stop spending your time on other ideas. The next one is to mastermind with smarter people. We are starting a mastermind every single week in our offices. We're going to be going somewhere fun every week, and you're going to be masterminding. Sometimes you might be pouring into people. I believe that you should have a perfect balance. You should have people underneath you, and then you should have people above you. So you need to spend some of your time pouring back and giving back to other people who are new in the industry. And then you also need people who are above you that are going to challenge you and help you to grow. So every week we're going to pick a new location. We're going to go to lunch, and it's just going to be a mastermind. You can invite the lenders to come with you. It's just, how do I grow my business mastermind? And that's it. So one of the things that we're going to have you do is brainstorm that of like, who can you invite to the masterminds? Can you invite other agents to come with you? And then talk about you have 2 minutes to how many masterminds can you commit to? Do that real quick. Okay, so the next one is delegate everything but sex unless you're tired, LOL. So I'm actually writing a book on this. I am writing a book on this because I feel like there are practical things that you can do to delegate. And I feel like I've gotten to be a master of that. And the thing is, you have to, number one, write this down. Identify what you should or want to be doing. Number two, make time to do it and do it. So everything else that you say you don't want to do, now, there's going to be some things that you do have to do, like sex with your husband, right? Like you just can't delegate that out. Like there might be one night that I'm like, man, I'm really tired. Who can I call? But I can't. So there's some things you just go, I've got to do this, but what is it that I don't have to do? I'm going to have to rush through this because this is the last one. Number 9 is trust but verify. One of the things that I think a lot of people know what trust is, but verify as a verb means that to confirm or substantiate. And so there's some things that I feel like you guys are spending money on that you're not, like, I'll give you an example. With our Zillow leads is a perfect example. When our accountant was giving us the ROI on Zillow leads, she didn't do anything wrong, but she messed it all up. The numbers were all wrong. And so my mom always says, my mom has a phone, we were out to dinner. My mom got remarried when my dad passed away. And some girl was calling him. And so she was like, snatched the phone. She was like, who is this? And my mom's a Christian counselor, okay? And I was like, Mom, you don't trust Verl? And she was like, of course I do, but you need to trust but verify, okay? So that is our new term. So you definitely need to verify your numbers. And then I'm going to cut it off here at 10 because we have a deadline. We will email you out the rest of this content for you to have it. I have it all on video so that you can have it if you want it. You're going to go to chantelray.com/Weston, and Daniel is going to get that up and live as soon as it's ready, okay?